Okay. Hello. Hello, Dee. How are you?
Good. How are you, Janine?
I'm hanging in there like the rest of the wake people are.
I
You
know,
got to be
right?
careful. So it's all about the eclipse, and there was so much around all that, and everybody has their own opinion of it. But let's just kind of start from what happened in your area with the eclipse. Is so you were in Arkansas, and I heard that it was cloudy, and then the skies just turned blue, and everybody was able to see it. Did you see it?
I saw it from inside because I do a different practice during eclipses. I don't view the eclipse. I say prayers for the symbolism and what's to come from the eclipse, so I can kind of go over that if you want. But I'm in Arkansas, and I'm right in smack dab in the middle where the little racetrack went across the country. Right through Arkansas. I'm right in the middle there, so uh, things did get really dark. Um, so stayed dark for maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and then it started lighting up again. So it does feel it has a totally different vibration to it for sure. But
Hmm.
yeah, I did not go outside because that's not what I do. So
So neither do the Navajo Indians. They don't go
mm,
outside. They stay inside and they say their prayers. I actually caught a video of that. I like to always see what different other people do, and that's interesting that you had said that because that's what I was viewing. I wanted to see. I'm always interested when you've got a Native American Indian, and they still are following their traditions and they're teaching it and passing it down. So I heard that they don't go outside. They actually, maybe you could tell us why do you choose this tradition?
my tradition is in the American Indian tradition. So, not necessarily Diné, which is Navajo. What we call Navajo is Diné. But basically, when the eclipse starts and it's starting to cover up the sun, the moon is starting to cover up the sun. I prayed, gave thanks for all of the darkness that was brought to light over the last years, since the last eclipse, and gave thanks for all the lessons that we learned from that, etc. Uh, and then as the sun started coming out again, I envisioned the world the way that I would like it to be. And that was with brightness, that our eyes would be opened, that we would be blessed with sunshine, or the good things in life, and that we can be stronger and more awake, eyes open, during the coming years. So that was what I was doing during that, hmm, basically 10 minutes for the whole thing to kind of do its thing. So that's basically you know what I did, saying a prayer as the sun showed its face again, saying a prayer for all the world, how I wanted to see it. So if we think about the quote from Buddha, it says, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Okay, so it starts with each person. So that was basically, I wanted to see the world whole, people getting along again, working together, cleaning up whatever mess has been made, the beautiful flowers and the trees and the spring, and just all of everything that I could think of that was good. And that's my intent for the new sun. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, that is just beautiful, and that makes more sense than everybody running out and buying these glasses to stare up at the sun, and then of course, and I can show this if people don't believe me, but all those glasses have a recall on them, which Amazon is the one that put them out there. I follow a lot of different channels, news channels for
Yeah.
different states, and I saw that and I said, "Well, that's odd because I never saw that they would have a recall." But in any case, I hope that everybody is safe out there because I saw so many little children out there with the glasses on and looking up. So I was out there for my time. It was at 12. 12:20 or 12:31, I think it was. And about 12:15, I took the dogs out for a walk. I was just trying to see if they sensed anything. As we got closer to about 12:26, it seemed like they were really sticking with me. You know, they were right next to me. They were being really good. And I just said, all right, let's go in the backyard. And then it just cloud over, extreme cloud. And I said, oh, this isn't worth it. I'm just going to go back inside. So throughout mine, I was inside also too. I didn't do any traditional things, but I do follow a lot of influencers out there, and I was following what I thought was a lot of negativity. And so I won't repeat what any of them have said because I like to stop the energy, with me on that. But we survived whatever it was, and we're here to talk about it.
Yes, we are. And a lot of people may not realize that we are the ones that create what we're experiencing. So if we want the eclipse or any eclipse, blood moon, blue moon, whatever, to be a positive thing, then we put that out there and make it so. It doesn't have to be this auspicious, creepy, scary, whatever that a lot of people are putting out there, because it's just, we had talked about this before, it's just another form of the fear porn,
Yeah,
So,
it is.
yeah.
It really is. And so I want to read a couple of things from the people that were just letting everyone know. There's a lot of comments out there about CERN. And so this is coming from Shadow of Ezra. It's about one of the credible ones that I follow. I have no idea who this person is. I've been following him for 4 years now. But fact checkers have confirmed that CERN will not be opening a portal during the eclipse today. And this was written about 2 hours ago. Forbes referred to as CERN is doing a dark matter experiment. So in 2023, CERN celebrated Dark Matter Day by inviting the public to explore the discoveries of the dark matter. So that's about as far as I will go with that. There's just a lot of people that just don't believe that there's a moon and sun and stars and all that other stuff. They don't think they're around. Everybody can believe what they want to believe, but this was probably the best quote that I got out there. I think it was from Vincent Kennedy. And he says, first of all, he just says, NASA is here to deceive. Anything touched by man I have no trust in. And that was it. It was a simple statement. And yeah, man, once man touches it, we have to question it.
Yeah, I think that's true to a certain extent, especially if we think back maybe 6, 8, 10 years ago. We used to trust a lot of things more so than we do now. So I can see that to a certain extent, but then we have to kind of ramp up our discernment and start to really see what these people do versus what they say they're going to do or what they talk about. What are they doing? And that's a good indicator of what's really kind of going on or whatever. So it's not good. Everything in the universe is a balance. Okay. So we can't go way over one end and say, oh, I'm not going to trust anything, or the other way and say, oh, I'm going to trust everything, because there has to be a balance. Mm-hmm. And our discernment and trusting our intuition or our gut feelings is a good way to do that. We have to start practicing that more so that we don't believe everything we hear or believe everything we see or keep tuning into the fear porn.
So myself personally, I will talk about myself, but I've turned a deaf ear. In other words, I'm observant, and that's about it. That's about the level I'll go at this point in time, because there's so much and there's more that's actually coming. We're going to just be seeing more. It's coming faster and faster and faster. A lot of it will be true, but so let me just tell you, there was Vincent Kennedy goes on to talk about. He must be in another country because everything is dated. Well, this is yesterday, so let me take that back. He says, if exactly 144,000 people disappeared from Earth during the solar eclipse on today, would you want to be one of them? And so it was either take me or no way. And I took the survey. I stood there and I thought about it, and I said, would I just want to be gone? And then my choice was no way. So there was 57% of the people said take me, and people that wanted to stay here was 42%. It's very close. A lot of people are sitting on the fence with that. This is a great time to be alive. We're all witnessing something that's bigger than we ever thought. And it's I think we are all the eclipse is my understanding, and I've said this to even Mayday off camera. It's us waking up. We're all reaching our own level. We're raising a level of our own consciousness. A lot of people that I see out there are saying they feel really good. I don't know if maybe they're relieved from this solar eclipse. If they're, now that it's passed through, it's probably up in Canada or gone by now. Yeah, it's probably gone by now. So I just think that at this point in time that if everybody's feeling really good about it, that the energies are really good.
Yeah, and I look at all kinds of things through symbolism. And so when I look at the solar eclipse, what this has done for us is it's telling us that out of the darkness, the light will come. So what that means, and I think I've said it on your show a few times, that we think we're awake, and we are to a certain extent, but the coming 2 to 4 years are going to be, we're really going to see a lot more. So this eclipse is saying that the old things that were hidden have passed away, and we're going to be shown more things will come to light. Okay, the new sun is all about more things coming to light, more light coming down, more eyes open. That's what the sun is all about, is opening the eyes, new beginnings. So to me, it's like some people might call it an omen, but to me, it's symbolism telling me that that darkness we've been through is gone. It's in the past. That's where it should stay. That's where it belongs. What we need to look forward to is the new sunrise, the new sun, the new showing us the way, if you want. So that's what all that means to me.
Yeah.
And we all, in my belief, we all volunteered to come here. We all have special skills and abilities to help ourselves, to help others, to help the world during this time. We all have different dates or whatever that we will leave here. And we can choose any of those. So for those people, those 144,000 or whatever that, said, okay, I'm ready. If it's within that time frame for them, then they could probably do that. But we there is a reason why we're here. Maybe we don't see it. Maybe that's a question that we need to ask our God, Jesus, universe, Gaia, Buddha, whatever, is show me, tell me why I'm here. What am I supposed to do? Or guide me, or however you want to do it, and find that answer. Because otherwise, we're just going to be kind of wandering around aimlessly, watching millions of hours of fear porn and let's solve this Q post, and let's go over here and watch this and try to figure stuff out. That's the wrong place to be looking. It's okay to stay informed to a certain extent, but we should be looking within. The answers are within, not without, if that makes any sense.
Oh, definitely. It makes a lot of sense. And I think at this point in time, a lot of people are realizing that the answers are within. So for one whole week up to this eclipse, I've been working through my stuff. For whatever reason, the eclipse is in Pisces, and I'm a Pisces, Virgo rising, and it has taken me back into things that I suppressed, and that's what all this was all about. I think this was the moving through this so that we can go within a little bit deeper, if you will. I just want to ask Mayday out there. I think I don't know if it's my computer or not, or if it's Rumble, but Is this running very slow? I see Hula Hoop is out there on Rumble. If you guys can give me a heads up what's going on, because it just seems like it's things are spinning. So if I'll just wait to hear back from Mayday if she's still there. If she's, I know she's going back and forth between the two. All right. So in any case, yeah. So that's been my stuff. Is I've been working through stuff that I suppressed and I didn't think it was a big deal, and then all of a sudden it comes up. I wake up, I remember it, and then it vanishes, and then I just move through my day. The things are vanishing very very quickly. So we are, a lot of people didn't know what to expect. People had schools that were closed. All that distraction is part of something that is not aligned with God. All the distraction.
It's
Go
fear.
ahead.
It's fear. All of it's fear. And the more fear we have, the more the fear feeds all the negative going on. The best way for us to get through all of this is to stop feeding the fear and the anger and the anxiety and any negative other emotion that you want to talk about. We really have to start putting out the positive emotions versus the negative. It's all fear-based.
Yeah. And so when I did pull a card before we started the show, because that's what I've been doing. I've been doing readings for people, and I haven't been doing as many shows. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing much collaboration with Bruce Poppy. He wanted to take time. What's really happening is all of us that have been doing this from the beginning, and Dee, you have been in the beginning with me. You're not on here, but you're on here every year with me in the beginning, the middle, and in the end. You always come back and grace us with your presence and do the readings for everybody. But I think it gets to the point that if you're just going to be reporting the news and everything that's going on and trying to tell people that's just deep state, that's bullshit, that's this, is that. I think at this point in time, I think the people figure that all out, right? I think we're at that point where we don't have to regurgitate what is being thrown across other influencers or X or anything like that. So yeah, so Andy 369 out there on Rumble says there is an addiction to drama to overthrow. That's interesting, and I've always wondered about that addiction to the drama. I've seen it my whole life. Drama comes from soap operas. Drama comes from movies that are called drama. That is just, part of that gets people hooked, right? And so if I were to say to you, how do we remove the drama from us? To me, I would answer it with, I don't pay attention and I don't give a shit about the drama.
Well, in the drama, whether it be through movies, social media, publications, mainstream, whatever's, it's all programming. We've all been programmed, brainwashed, indoctrinated to slowly over time. They have gotten us used to all of this drama. So now it's what we think. Maybe we don't think it's normal, but we're used to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just another form of the fear porn. And it's just all of this stuff. I've told you before that since I was a young girl, basically, that I am blessed to be shown things in a big picture, okay? Like what's really going on kind of deal. And this drama is just the Roman bread and circus. That's all it is. It's the NFL games. It's the basketball, Final Four. It's all of the things that they use to keep us distracted.
Right.
The certain bridge collapse, the shooting here, the shooting over there, all of this stuff is to keep us distracted so that we don't have time, don't make time, don't know how to make time to look within, to say, okay, I want to be happy. Okay, what is it going to take for me to be happy? One, and I've covered all these before, if you think that you're really over all of this drama and manipulation and all of that, ask yourself, how many hours a day do I spend on the internet looking at fear porn?
Mm-hmm.
You know, wanting to
Mm-hmm.
get the latest this or the latest that, or what is this guy saying or this lady saying or whatever. That's a good indicator. And I guarantee you, if you just limit that, you're going to feel 90% better. If you just say, okay, I'm going to do 1 hour, set the timer, whatever you want to do. And 1 hour is it. You don't need 8, 10, 12 hours of it. It's not good for you. Even though you don't believe it, or you're like, oh, that's crap or whatever, you're still feeding yourself the negative. We need a
Yeah.
diet for positive, you know?
Well, no, you're right there. So there's a lot of people out there that have these like Fitbits, or I got an Apple Watch, and I've been focusing on my health, and I knew about last week or so that I need to start changing my diet and working out more, going for more walks. We've met more friends here, so I've become more less social media and more social. And that has been making me a lot happier. If you get into a point where it's just like, oh God, another day of this. I can't wait. When is Trump coming back in? That mentality is telling me that you have given your power over to everything outside of you, and you're not seeing your own self-worth, your own power to create your own world, however it is that you want to see it. So let's see, Ronnie out there. Hey, Ronnie, how you doing? Is saying drama gives me anxiety. I steer clear of it as much as possible. I do too, sister. And I just don't go near it. Once you're there, it's just like, okay, because and the reason for that is you don't feel. I guess you feel like you're not in control, or you never know when you were in drama, or even if you're in an argument with somebody, you don't know where somebody's coming from. It's all the unexpected. So with that said, I think that the last time we had Dee on the show, I was supposed to have her on last Saturday with Buck, and I had canceled Buck and one other show, and I think it was 2 other shows, and so I asked Dee to come back. And it turned out perfect. It always does. Whenever I cancel somebody and then I'll say, Dee, can you make it? And she had this time available for us. But we were going to do readings, and I'm not sure if Dee still wants to do that or not, or if she has I think you're going to use cards, right, Dee?
Yes, that's what we had said we were going to do before. And you can take a poll real quick to see if that's what people want to do. And if that's what they want to do, I have all of my cards ready. And I will have to give a disclaimer before I start, though. If that's, I'm perfectly fine with it. They can ask questions about the world if they want, or their own something, a dream they had, or a personal, whatever.
Yeah, you don't want to go into anything that is personal. Like I think I recall that somebody said there was somebody that was put something out. I think it was you, that was traumatic. It was a trauma, and we wouldn't go there. And that's not, or maybe it was somebody else. Might have been another reader. But in any case, the guidelines for this is everybody wants to know about a lot of things personal. And if you want to set up those personal consultations with Dee, you can go to dfletcher.com. Is that correct, Dee?
Yeah, and when I do readings online, so first of all, I have to have permission. So anybody that wants to ask a question, like, if you had a dream and you say, hey, what does this dream mean, or something like that, or what do you see in the US, or something like that, I need before you ask the question, I would need for them to just mentally give me permission to answer that question. Because when I ask for guidance, I ask for whatever's for the highest good of all concerned. So you may ask me, what's my favorite color? And I get your favorite color, but then I get something else. And that something else, you may not, want everybody to know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I get more. I get the answer, but then I get more information. So, it's up to you.
Well, a lot of times with the intention of what the question, it goes a little bit deeper than what they're asking. That's what you're picking up on. Yeah. And so when you pick up on that, you're getting to the root of things. So I'm going to ask everyone out there, I see Buck is out there. Hey, Buck, how you doing? And by the way,
Hey,
we're
Buck.
going to do yeah, we'll do a show. I think it was tomorrow morning with Buck. I got to double check it. It's one of these mornings since I did cancel with Buck also. But I want, if you guys give me a thumbs up, if you think that you would want to ask Dee a question. What kind of cards are they, Dee?
I have tarot and oracle.
Tarot and oracle.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see here. So if I can get thumbs up out on Rumble and also out on, there's not a lot of people out on the YouTube, but that's okay. And never is out on YouTube. So let's see here. It says, Janine, your hair is so shiny. You're glowing. That's because I'm with Dee. She's got beautiful energy. All right. So let's see here. What else do we have? So yeah, I'm waiting for the thumbs up. There's a little bit of a delay here, Dee. And
yeah, and I did want to clarify something. The last time I was on, someone asked me to read them, and my definition, when somebody says that to me, my definition is they want me to tell them about themselves, something that's going on with them, basically an overall picture. And that's not something that I can do like on a show like this, because it's very in-depth and, personal and stuff like that. So that's the reason I, chose not to do that question, like read me, because read me means like, bleh, everything, So,
opening can of worms or Pandora's box. You don't want that put out there because, you might get some information and people say, well, I really don't care, but and in the God's truth of yourself, when we hear something and it's blasted out there, I have a hard time reading myself when I'm live. I do much better when it's a one-on-one consultation. The energies flow a lot better for me for whatever reason. And so in any case, so I'm not seeing anybody out on Rumble yet that wants a reading, but I am seeing some things from the earlier conversation when we were talking about the eclipse. And the people were mentioning things about their animals. One is saying, my cat was so anxious. Another one was saying something about they kept their dog nearby. Let's just do a general reading on the animal kingdom right now. When I say animal kingdom, yeah, let's just put it all out there. Like, with all the stuff that's going on. And I love this part because all of us have a fur baby or, whatever, a bird, a cat, a dog. And then there's the human aspect of it. How does the human aspect affect the fur babies?
Okay. Yeah, so this tells you a lot about, I have to go the right way. This is called influence. Okay. I don't know are you getting that?
I'm getting it. That's perfect. Yeah. Are those crows?
Yes. This is called Urban Crow Oracle.
Okay.
So what this card is saying is that the eclipse had an influence on the animals, just like it does us. So the animals are a lot of times more sensitive than humans are. And when the vibrational frequency of the whole planet changed during the eclipse, if you notice before the eclipse started, things were kind of like usual, if you know what I mean. And then as the eclipse started, you could feel it in your body. You could feel it was like, okay, you could feel the change. That's because the vibrational frequency of the planet changed during the eclipse. Okay, so that's why the animals, like here, my next door, my people that live around me, their dogs started barking during the eclipse. They just started barking like they were all having a big party talking, and that's because of that influence. So the vibrational frequency of the whole planet changed during the eclipse for those, the whole process, whatever those minutes were. And then once the sun came back out, then it went back to what it was before. And I think if you were to look at the Schumann resonance, you would see a difference in that period of time.
Yeah.
So that's
I,
the reason for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that one at all. Let's see here. What else do we have? That was just a generalization for the animals, and that's good to know. Like I said, I noticed something a little bit different when I was walking my dogs. They were actually really good, and they were staying with me. They were just great because usually I got the golden who's all excited, or golden's energies are like all over the place, and then the other one is trying to be the alpha dog. But this time it was a good walk. And considering I'm still trying to heal my knee here, and I was hoping they were going to be good. But so let's see here. What else do we want? Anybody else have a question out there? I'm just looking. Charville saying the Schumann was really high during the time. She did check it. Thank you for sharing that with us. I didn't think about even going there. Let's see here. Some of the people, I think it's the same person, said my kids were a little nutty. Let's see here.
And it's for the same reason, because kids, just like adults, just like animals, we may not be able to describe what we're feeling or whatever, but we know that something has changed, and the sky goes dark in the middle of the day, so it creates a different atmosphere, sort of like right before a tornado, the atmosphere changes, okay, and the vibrational frequency changes. So kids feel that too. Kids are actually a lot more perceptive than adults because it hasn't been trained out of them yet,
Yeah, definitely. I think that I've seen somebody who Queen I am 23. It's so funny. When somebody has a handle name or whatever you want to call these names, and then they put like a sentence together saying, my mind does not look like, I'm looking for the space and the period. That's the way my mind works. But Queen I am 23 says, happy solar eclipse from Alberta. That's in Canada, and I would be so grateful for a reading. Cheers and continued success to all. So then she's going to shout out to Buck. What would you like to add, or should I ask Queen I am 23 to put a question out there?
Yeah, it's like like I said, a reading or read me is like general. It's like asking a general question. Does she have a specific question she would like answered, or she just? I mean, I don't know what to do
Yeah.
with give me a reading. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'll wait for her to come back if she's still
Okay.
with us there. So there is another one, Hula Hoop. And she would like to know if there's any insight on her hyperbaric healing center. So if you is that too general, or do you want something more specific?
No, that's fine. So she just wants information on her hyperbaric healing center.
Yeah, any insight on her hyperbaric healing center? So I guess she's asking that when you put the cards down, what information do you get from that?
Yeah, and I get yes, there is information. So there's always information, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason it takes me a second is because I shuffle and then I get a number and then I have to go to the card numbers. So that's why it's just not a off the top thing. So
Okay, let me check YouTube to see if there's any questions out there.
So we're gonna use the shamanic deck here, and we got an 8, so that's so good things to say about her hyperbaric center. It's the sun. Hey, speaking of sun, we're all
That's the
about
highest
the sun
card.
today.
That's the highest card in the deck, isn't it? Well, it is in the regular.
For this, it's a very good one. Yeah, it's not necessarily the highest one, but this is the sun. So this is like a yes card or an affirmative. Like this is a good place. I hope that's what she was asking, to tell her something about that place, and it's a good place. So this would tell me that there's good things that come from there, and that it gives people a better outlook on life. I don't know if she had other specifics, but that's basically like a giving a thumbs up to that place, maybe.
Yeah, I did a show with her husband, which is Dr. Ken, and they're located outside of Atlanta. I forgot the town that they're in, but so I'm still getting emails. People are still seeing those shows about her hyperbaric healing center. One lady was from Australia, and I forwarded that on to her. She did reply back to me. So I find that really interesting. People are looking for healing out there any which way. So I think she was from Australia. She was going to Sherry or Hula Hoop and her husband and asking for a referral out in her area. And Sherry came back right away and said, we can help. We're here to help with healing. And, no matter how the information came in, I just thought, wow, that's really beautiful. They are really fulfilling their contract. And so we'll do another show with them on something else different. So let's just see here. What else do we have? I hope that helped you out. Queen I am 23. She said, oh my goodness, I never thought you'd see my comment. So she says, is it possible for a reading concerning the business I've been working on, or will I return to my land since my husband passed? So she's looking for it. She's in obviously change right now, but she's more or less concerning her business that she's been working on.
So she's wanting to know the choice, business or land. Is this correct?
It looks that way. She said that she's been working on. I don't know if her business is existing or not, but we'll just go with how she phrased it because that's her intention, and see what you get.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you ask a question, you don't have to get a lot of detail, but the more specific the question, kind of the better, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is telling me that she needs to do what is best for her. And I also, you see that self-interest? Okay, so that means don't worry about what other people think you should do or what other people said, oh, well, I think this is best for you or whatever. This is what is best for you. And I'm also hearing, why can't you do both? Why can't you do both, business and your land?
Yeah.
Okay, so she needs to make this decision what's best for her and not, allow other people,
outside influencers.
Yeah, not allow other people to kind of, bully her into something or say, oh, well, you're dumb if you do that or anything like that. So, and I'm totally getting, why can't you do both, business, land together, business, land. So I don't know if that makes sense to her or not, but
yeah. So it's kind of like she put herself in a way that the question is either or. And that's what a lot of people don't get. Why can't you have both of them, right? When you go to a little kid and said, do you want the lollipop or do you want the candy bar? Well, I want both of them. One for each hand, right?
Yeah, and when we ask for things, it's good for us to ask for whatever's for our highest good or for our best interest or whatever, and allow it to unfold, because a lot of times when we ask for this or that, we limit ourselves. We limit the doors that open to us, you see.
So so thank you. I want to give you a reply back. Hula Hoop says, thank you, Dee, with all my love. You're going to be so successful with that hula hoop. It's probably just, and as far as the timing goes, I would say June, you're going to be so busy that when I ask you to come back, you're going to say, I don't have any time, Janine. But
that'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. People are going to start to put their priority. Everybody always says, money, I need the job, I need this, I have to put food on the table. With this shift that we have entering in, and it'll take us all a while. A lot of us felt really good after the eclipse, and I truly do believe that. I'm going to put Kern's question up here because I want to just kind of tell you what I felt, and it relates to this, is that I knew that based upon the Julian calendar, or the whatever calendar that we're on, I always get it confused because people talk about 5 different calendars. I actually felt like April 1st was our New Year's, is how it was originally set up. And then they moved it to January 1st. And I actually was feeling right after the eclipse is almost as like, when right after the New Year's, we start making our New Year's resolution. and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I think that if people are wanting to, we are all sensing something, the way that things we're sensing what the truth is. So at some point in time, if we did celebrate April 1st as our New Year's, we're remembering these things are coming back to us. This veil has been lifted from, being dummied down, if you will. Do whatever is best for you. And so Current's question is, will the New Year's go back to April 1st?
Okay, I'll ask that first, because April 1st is April 1st Julian. I think they're two different things, aren't they? But anyway, I'm not a calendar
April 1st
expert.
was considered the new year. And you're saying within the Julian calendar. What calendar are we on, you guys? I need help in the chat there. What calendar?
I'll ask the first question. Will it
Okay.
return to April 1st? Okay.
And then Buck has a question.
Okay. Yeah, so this is telling me that a whole new creation. The old things will be
Bring it up. What does it say?
Ace of Swords.
Ooh, okay.
Ace of Swords. Okay, so aces are new beginnings, things like that, a chance starting over, and the swords are about words, thoughts, okay, planning. So this tells me that there's going to be a new type of calendar. Okay, I'm not getting April 1st on this, like something else. Okay, does that make sense?
So yeah, so the general question was based upon the Julian and Andy. Andy answered the question. We're on the Gregorian calendar now, so the Julian calendar celebrates New Year's on April 1st. If that makes any sense.
So April 1st and Julian is the same thing, basically. Is that my understanding?
1st, yeah, well, there's different calendars, right?
I understand that, but I'm saying on the Julian calendar, you're saying on the Julian calendar, April 1st is New Year's.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
And again, this is what I'm getting is this is a no. It's a nothing. Something else is going to be created. Okay. Okay. Not the Julian. Okay. Yeah. It won't be the Julian. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we were all told that there's so many other calendars out there, right? And there's different calendars for different countries and stuff like that. And everybody's saying we got to go back to this other one. Why don't we create something new if we're going into the new level of consciousness? Wipe away all the evil stuff and do something, create something new. It doesn't necessarily have to be.
Go ahead. This is going to be something that is created, well thought out kind of thing. And if we look back, the calendars that we're familiar with right now, and time itself is not what it's supposed to be. A good example of that is we're now in, well, at least in the US and probably other places, we're in daylight savings time. So we're manipulating time to put it an hour ahead, right? So it's not really the real time. When we look at our clock right now and whatever it says, that's not the real time. But do we know what the real time is? Is it the original, like 1 hour back? Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
I do. And they're kind of agreeing with you in the chat. Andy 369 is saying the Julian calendar was previously the calendar. We're not sure if April was the Julian as such. We don't know. That's half the battles. We don't know what the truth is anymore. So why put our hopes into something that we're not sure of? Why put our energy out into something that maybe, like you said, a spirit is telling you that we're going to possibly create something new for us. Why regurgitate what has already been done? And when we're going into the new energies removing.
And this just fell out. It's the Fool card.
Okay.
Starting on a new journey. Okay. things that are nonsensical may actually be things that maybe don't make sense to us will make sense. They're actually, because the court jester was actually an in the know, very smart person that just acted like a goof. He's Heyoka. Heyoka's the comical clown that does everything backwards, but in the meantime, he's teaching you things. Okay. So, and I'm also getting that the calendar that will be created, okay, I'm getting recreated, will be something more like one of the old ones, like from uh, native Aboriginal type dealio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it ain't gonna have nothing to do with no Romans. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Been
Yeah.
there, done that. Moving on. Moving on.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we've got a couple more, but I want to get to Buck. So I'm trying to find where Buck was at.
Hi, Buck.
I think that Buck was in a car accident, and his car probably needs a lot of work. I believe. I'm sorry. I'm kind of trying to find what he have on Rumble. I can't star him off or save him. I just got to remember what they had said, and my memory is really, really bad.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of detoxing too. So let's see here. Buck, what did you say?
Type it in again, man.
What's
I've given Buck a new nickname.
that?
He's gonna be my cannoli cousin.
Somebody is writing something in here about his cannolis and cakes, but let's see here. I can't remember. I think he was asking. He says, "Buck, Buck, Buck, come on, just reprint what you put out there, Buck." If anybody else sees what he says, shoot.
Hey, and the good thing about these things.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. He says,
Okay.
"I got one question. Will my car get repaired, or will I need a new one?"
Okay, you want me to pull a card for that?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I
Buck,
don't
there's
have
always
to, but I will, Buck. I don't have to pull one, but I will. Just because it's you, my man.
Yeah, and don't forget there's always free will, and you will change your mind, and we're going through a Mercury retrograde.
Yeah. No biggie.
Oh, you know what? I changed my mind about 10 different projects that, me and my husband are working on. Each day I wake up and I get another idea. So I'm just going to wait until April. Wait until April passes and we get into May.
Yeah, the thing about Mercury retrograde, I have a lot of people that say, "Oh, this and that, it's Mercury retrograde, blah blah blah, whatever," and that's okay if you want to work it that way or whatever. But for me, just like the eclipse today, I just ask for guidance on those days, to make whatever the thing going on is, to make the best decisions or whatever. So me and Mercury retrograde, we're cool because I just do my thing and that's it.
All right.
Okay. So this card, Buck, is telling me that I hope you got a nest egg for this car, and you need to think about, let me see if I can put my finger where it needs to go. Need to think about, incubate on some more solutions here. Okay. So we got some eggs here. Do you have someone that's working on this with you? Like your partner, your loved one or something? Okay. So the two of you need to work on some like different plans or something. Okay. Because we're in the nest here and we need to come up with some more incubation here. Okay. So it's, you might find a good mechanic, but I'm getting overall the no vibe from that. So come up with some, get with your partner, your wife or whatever, and you guys come up with some more ideas, because there's other ways. Okay, there's other ways you can get it done or get a better car or something. So like I mentioned earlier, ask for guidance and what is best for you, so that it'll either work out, you'll fix your car, or you'll get a new one and it won't like take you out or anything like that. But this current car that you have right now, it's like I'm getting the no from it. But that doesn't mean that you can't ask spirit to give you some help and see if you can come up with another solution for that.
Or another solution will come to him, right?
Ask.
Okay.
Show me, tell me, what's the best thing for me to do to get this car fixed, or something better, or something better. And if the accident wasn't your fault, I would definitely get a lawyer, and that'll help with how much they're going to give you if they, I don't know if they totaled it or whatever, but anyway, lot to that one. But ask for assistance, and ask for, please give me some guidance on how to get this car fixed or something better. I hope that helps, Buck.
Yeah.
I heard doozy. So I'm wondering if his accident was a doozy, or like it was a doozy because it really messed up his car. I get doozy. It was a doozy. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay.
Okay, so let's see here. I'm just seeing if there is another question out there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go on so much about that, but I was getting a lot of stuff for that. So
somebody's saying, "Pimp my ride, pimp my ride." All right, let's see here. Yeah, if you don't mind, I probably would like to just pull one Akasha card for him and see how that goes. And in the meantime, I'm looking. Is there anything out? Can you see YouTube's questions, Dee?
I don't see anybody's questions really.
Okay, I guess it's not.
I don't know if my chat is, there's nothing in my chat, so.
Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, so when I pulled it, Archangel Gabriel showed, and that there is as soon as he is open up to praying or manifesting, he'll get his answer. So
yeah,
there you go.
Archangel Gabriel is for communication. Okay, so makes sense. Needs some spiritual communication there, but ask for help. Can't do it all yourself, even though you try. Doesn't hurt to ask for help.
Let's see. I'm missing somebody's joke out there. It says, I guess this was Kern says, I'm going retrograde on 420. All right, let's see here. Oh, okay. So Buck is answering out there out on Rumble that it's pretty much Buck, you'll get your prayers answered. I truly do believe that. It's just that right now you kind of anytime something happens and we trying to find a solution, it's like the other one. The other question is either or could it just be that the information hasn't come to you yet because you haven't asked? Like she said, it's a communications. It's a question of however you ask it. So let's see here.
Sometimes it's easier if you just stop thinking about it and calm your mind enough to ask for help. Ask the question. Please show me, tell me how to repair this car or something better.
Okay.
And because the more a person worries about something, or the more they're just filling their brain with, well, I could do this, or I could do that, or maybe this, well, how much is that, and blah, blah, blah. They're blocking any spirit communication that's coming in to help them. So you need to calm the mind. Just forget about it for a day,
Yeah. So Buck is saying that he sent me a picture. For some reason, I'm not allowed to get photos on my phone. I don't know what's going on. I've had a lot of people tell me that. I don't know if it's it. You know what is going on with these stupid phones. But anyway, sorry, Buck. I can't see it. I just did check. And so let's see. Let's just move on to the next one here. I know there was somebody else off of there. Andy369 was actually explaining more out there. If you guys are following the chat about the calendars, the previous calendars, and let's see what else I had. This just jumped, so I just lost anything that I had. Let's see. Frozen. So everybody's manifesting Buck a ride, so that is good. Everybody put good vibrations out there for everybody who is in a situation right now. And there was an update also on the land, and the land and the business. Apparently, the woman, when her husband died, she lost her land. She, I guess, she was probably asking her intentions may not have come across to us and how she was asking it, but I guess she's just going to be focusing on the business at this time. Let's see here. Fran Jane says Mercury retro. I have it natally, so this person is in sync with it right now. All right, that's good. Any other questions out there from anybody that wants to ask anything?
I have a question. I have a question for the person who's asked the business or the land question. The question I'm getting is it lost? I mean, is it? I don't know what that means. Or is it for sure gone? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So let me see. I think that was. I'm trying to find who it was. You guys can help me out there.
I guess I didn't understand the question she was asking. I thought she was asking, should I go to do wherever my land is, or should I do this business? That's what I was. But whatever.
See,
yeah.
That's why it's so difficult to do this in these chats. I think that was Queen I Am 23. Queen I Am 23. Just put something else out there for us for clarification. So let's see here. So someone is asking, would like to know, this is C. Charville, and I think that her name is Catherine or something like that. Would like to know why I see into the future with all my kids, but there's a time period or there's an age it stops. My younger at the age around his cognitive thinking. Will I get it back? Apparently, this person is used to be able to see into the future, is not seeing as much. It's Christina. She's saying it's Christina. Yes, I remember she sent me an email.
Okay, I don't understand what.
Yeah, that was too much information. It was too much.
She started talking about kids and ages, and
Christina. All right, I'll just ask her to be a little bit more direct with the intention behind just the question without the details, because it becomes convoluted for the reader. And I know.
So does she want to know whether or not she's going to get her foresight back? Is that her question?
I'm taking it as it is, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
I want her to put it in her intention behind that. Okay, so I do have an answer from Queen I Am 23. Says my land was taken. Will I, by grace, will it be returned to it? Will I by grace be returned to it? So that was. It's interesting is that when people are asking something, they're very generic about it. And so when you ask a question, can I do my business or can I do my land? And the land was already taken away. That's really not the right question to ask.
Well, and again, Janine, the question is coming up. Is it gone? Is she sure it's gone? Is she sure she can't get it back? Has she tried to do something to get it back? Because that to me means that there's a possibility that she could do something. That's the reason I'm asking, is it gone? Is it gone? There's nothing she could do. She's tried everything, etc.
Right.
So You know what I mean?
I do. So we'll wait and see if that one comes back. It's really interesting because people are all wanting to know if they're going to get something back, and there is a theme here in the chat, just like Christina's asking something about her being able to see into the future. Is she going to be able to? Will that come back to her?
I can answer that general question. Okay. So for anybody, okay, we were all born with gifts. Our gifts are, we have them all. Some are stronger than others. Some come in various forms of the basic senses, our five senses used in a spiritual manner versus a physical manner. Okay. We all have them. We were all born with them. There's nobody that was just, oh, there's just one special person that can do that. We all have them. The reason we don't know that we have them is because we've not been taught that we have them or how to use them or whatever. So we all have them. Whether or not we choose to use them or not is totally up to us. It's called free will. Now, the people who think that they have lost whatever, there's two ways that it becomes silent. It's not ever lost. It's not ever lost. Okay? Number one is if you use it in a manner that is evil intended or something like that, it will dissipate. It doesn't mean it's gone, but the power of it will dissipate. The second thing is if you're so busy that your mind never stops, you're not getting your spirit communication, you're so worried about this or so worried about that, or you're filling your head with fear and all of that, so these spiritual messages can't get through to you. That's the reason why you feel like that you've lost your, in this case, foresight, or I can't read people anymore, or I don't hear things from my spirit guide like I used to. It's because you need to quiet your mind. Your gifts are not gone. They're just in like sleep mode, like when your computer goes in sleep mode. Okay. All you have to do is calm your mind and just turn it back on. If you want to say something like, I am hearing my spirit guides again, or I am seeing into the future again, but you can't keep your mind busy 24/7 and expect spiritual messages to come in. So that's another good reason for us to stop allowing all the fear and negativity in, because it hampers our spiritual gifts. So everybody has spiritual gifts. They're never gone. They just kind of go to sleep if they're not used or if they're abused. So I hope that kind of clears up some of it.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna kind of switch. No, yeah, well, she was basically, she's got more information out there, but she was kind of hesitant on putting her personal stuff out there, so that's why the question didn't come across clearly.
Well,
and that's why if you go ahead.
And the answer is yes, you will get it back. Your foresight, if you see into the future, you will get it back if you let your mind calm down. Let it, give it a break, do meditation, whatever it is for you to quit thinking about everything, or have your day filled up 24/7 or whatever. You will get that back if you want it. So
right. All right, so let's see here. She says, thank you, Dee. Let's see here. Chris Lee is saying that what does the universe want me to know after today? I had a good eclipse experience. As a generalization of a question, if you want, I could try to take that, or you could pull a card for that one.
I can pull a card, and you can pull one too if you want. We'll do a tag team.
Okay, and this is this is who did I say this was? Gosh, I hate Rumble. I can't keep track. Chris Lee.
Chris Lee. Okay, Chris Lee.
Yeah, it's like CHRISLEEH. What does the universe want me to know after today? I had a good eclipse experience. Huh.
Yeah, so the eclipse is also about starting over, starting new, a new beginning. Okay, so This is the answer to the question. Hope everybody sees that.
The drum.
So basically what this means is just live to the beat of your own drum. Okay, whatever that is. So when you get up in the morning, you might, whatever your belief system is to ask, you know, I'm awake and present. What would you have me do today? But part of being marching to the beat of your own drum is to do what you feel your gut instinct or your intuition or whatever tells you to do, and don't allow others to dissuade you from that. So be you, do you, march to the beat of your own drum. You've got, and we've all got from this eclipse, a new beginning. We have a new sun today. So it's a new beginning for everybody. I hope that helps.
Yeah. So what I actually got here was, it was right along the lines of yours. Let me just turn this other comment off over here and just show it. This is for Chris Lee, and it is showing that you know, she did have a really good experience with it. Add some, I believe is how you pronounce it. It's a 22 card. You can see all the spirits around her. All she has to do is ask, and so it's in line with what you're actually saying there. So you're getting the guidance. You know, that was what the energy was that came in at the particular time for the eclipse was with her. So if we talk about all of us have had a shift, her shift was pretty much knowing the unknowing and when to ask for help, and it, you know, just basically, you know, even using the word ADSUM, or whatever it is, to call upon an answer that you may need to get through life. That's your internal dialogue that you're actually having with spirit. And so what I think opened up for her, what I'm sensing is opened up for her, she's trusting more of her spiritual beings that are around her, and she's going to be trusting more of herself. If you could see that, this is a really bad thing, but you could see that she's you know, she's these beings around here, she's getting a lot of guidance, a lot of old ancestral guidance, and angels, whatever she calls upon will be there for her. And so that, I thought she had a pretty powerful day today. I think that's what she's trying to say. That's what I'm sensing. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see what else we have here. So if anybody is interested in having more extensive readings, things that you don't want to put out here that are kind of personal because you're kind of afraid to say something, and I get that, just go to dfletcher.com. If you're looking for a reading. Let's, what else am I seeing here? Okay, we have I just, you know, I know that Mayday always teases about this, but you know, she does say from time to time within the chat that her brain works sometimes, you know, sometimes it goes into sleep mode. Is exactly what I have been saying, is I've been experiencing all week long, but I'm also on a different level. I'm in a different dimension. I'm learning. I'm going through things that I held on to. Dee, what would you say for May Day, where she kind of feels like that maybe, you know, things that she would remember, you know, she had a list and there was 10 things on the list and she would remember what those 10 things are. And now all of a sudden, maybe those 10 things are important to remember. I don't know. I'm just using it as an example. But when she makes a comment, the brain works sometimes and other times it goes into sleep mode. Could you pull a card on it?
Sure. This for Mayday?
Mayday, yes. Okay. She's a beautiful, beautiful soul. She does so much, and she's done so much research throughout these, you know, last few years. And but she will always say that you know, we all know that our mind doesn't work the way it did 30 years ago, right? But maybe you could tell us what's going on.
Okay, so this card, it's like she's getting, this card is telling me, it's called caching. Okay, so like saving for later. This card is telling me that she's getting things and she's like putting them in her mind, to use for later. They're going to be important later. Okay. And they're more important than whatever little list she had or whatever she was going to do that day. And ask her if she's, it seems like she's worried about something in particular concerning that. But she can always email me, d@dfletcher.com, and I could talk to her more about that. But yeah, it's like she might be in the middle of something, and then, she has this moment where it's just kind of blank, or she feels like maybe she's in a little bit of a daydream-ish kind of thing, and she's receiving things and she needs to keep them for later, if that makes any sense. You could, if she wants to talk to me more about that, I would be glad to share that with her. But she's getting stuff and she's storing it away for later because it's going to be important soon. I hear soon.
Well, that's how she is. She does. Yeah. She's analytical. She's I always say that on some level she's almost like Jason Q, but she files it in her brain. She stores it on a computer. Jason Q prints out everything is on paper. That's his library or whatever. But analytical people do have a knack of saying, I'm going to this is going to be important someday, and then you file it away, right? You know that that this may come up again, and you know where to go to get it. Maybe it's just been an overabundance of so much information that's going out there. That's why I started that saying. It's not my saying. I saw it somewhere. Observe but don't absorb, because we have to let some of the information go dormant that's not aligned with us at some point in time, right? And I think that's what she has been doing. We talk a lot on the phone, and that we kind of like didn't walk away from everything that's going on in this world. We just decided what was more important for us. Is it so, like you said earlier when you first started out, how important is it for us to gather all the information for every channel out there? We're all blowing circuits. We really are. So when you step back and you take a breath and you get grounded, you get back into the family life, food, preparing your own food. Everybody's going to be hearing so much of the shit show is there is something that is negative that is going on. We're seeing it with cargo ships. We're seeing it with boats and planes and trains and all that other stuff. The way that I look at it, and I know this is not going to help anybody who's really struggling out there, we are rewriting history right now. And so if you say, okay, well, what do I do with that? Well, the way that you knew that things worked before are no longer going to be pertinent to you. So maybe allowing these thoughts to flee is your way of tapping into another level of consciousness that that there's something else bigger and better coming.
Yeah, and it's I've been getting for a long time that things aren't going back to the way they were, and today is the new sun came into being, so a new beginning. If ever we wanted to do something different, now is a good opportunity for that. We can do it any moment that we want to, but this is like an occasion to say, okay, what is it that I want to change in my life? What do I want to let go of? Anything that's in the past, that's where it needs to stay. We need to look forward to, what do I want in my life? How do I want my country to be, or the world to be, or the people to be, and things like that, and let the other stuff go.
Okay. All right. So there's one other question. I'm actually going to go back to Christina. She's kind of asking something, and I'm sensing something. I'm going to answer that, but there's a question that's on the screen. It says, can people who channel open themselves up to evil? That's a great question, and that's probably why a lot of people, well, I'll let you answer that.
Well, basically, anytime that we get messages or communication from spirit, we're actually channeling, because we're receiving it from spirit. We're like the two-way communication device, and how we get it is through our five senses. We just get it in a spiritual way. Okay, that's where the spiritual gifts come from, our five senses used in a spiritual way. And so anytime we kind kind of depends on what we're doing and things like that, but it's always a good idea if you're going to set your intention to channel information or whatever, is to do some sort of practice or ritual before you do that to give yourself some extra protection and set an intention for good. Now we all have divine protection already because we have, if you choose to believe it or whatever, we do have guardian angels and we have spirit guides and we have our ancestors and a lot of other, I call them people, spirits that help us. So we have natural protection that way, but we don't want to, the biggest thing you don't want to do is to do any kind of spiritual work with a negative intention, because then you open up to lower spirits, which could come in and, mess with you or whatever. So an example of a bad intent or something that opens you up to maybe lower spirits coming in would be something like the Ouija board, okay, or practices of the dark art kind of things. I don't want to say certain words on here. I think we're on YouTube. So anything that's not of the highest light. So it's always good to, maybe sage or whatever your practice is to give yourself extra protection. Always set your intention of what you're going to do. I am doing this for the highest good or to help others or whatever it is. And stay away from the dark stuff. Another example of staying away from the dark stuff is some people who like to go out and have fun going to like haunted places, and they don't properly prepare themselves. That could get them in trouble too. So when you're channeling, which we do that anyway every time we get spirit information, you want to make sure it's of the highest caliber, that you put in a little bit of extra protection, etc. So hope that answers the question.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I hope that answers the question. So I think Christina was basically alluding to in her question was she could read her children, and then all of a sudden that what I would call like that gift that she had kind of went away. She can read other people and reading her own children. Well, that happens when you become a reader. You become, I can't read my husband, and God, everybody would love to be able to read their husband or their wives, right? But when you have somebody that's very, very close to you, and she's talking about her children, there comes a point where you become a little more biased, where your judgment will affect the reading. So it's real important. And so you're being taught something right now is that if you're looking to find the answers about them, you could still pull the cards on it. Always ask for permission. I don't know how old these children are, but I can't read anyone that I nearly I've got a really good friendship with, or that I love, or whatever that is, and that's just the universal laws. What do you think, Dee?
Well, one of the it's like a universal law or spiritual guidance or whatever you want to call it, but even our children, okay, because everybody has free will, okay, even children, okay, everybody's born with free will. So we don't want to read people if they have not given us permission, okay? And some people, it's even your children, okay, they may have set something up before they came here so that you or other people cannot read them for whatever reason, okay? That we don't know everything that is at work there. So we don't want to just, even if we're the most accurate mind reader on the planet, we don't want to just go around going, oh, hey, how you doing? And reading people's minds, because that's against universal law. You have to have permission to do that stuff. So if you don't have permission, or there may be other reasons why you can't read a person besides that, your children may have put that in place that they can't be read for various reasons. They might have a special thing that they're going to do, or they are doing, or they're working on in this lifetime, and they don't allow the read on them. Okay, so it's like a barrier or something like that in place. So there's a lot of reasons why you can't read your children, and at some point they may allow you to do that again, or on special occasions or whatever. But you know, just yeah, you can ask for guidance as a mother, okay, and say, hey, I think my child might be, I don't know, having trouble in school or whatever. Can you give me some guidance on how to help them? You don't necessarily have to read them to be a good mother, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and there comes a point where they don't allow you to get all the information for whatever reason that is. And I would always ask when I had a lot of friends that did readings, a lot of different readings. I'll just say, when I was trying to figure something out, and I would go to them because they don't have as much emotional investment as I did into it, and and being good at reading is removing that emotional aspect out of it, if you will. So Chris Fry has brought up something that I've been seeing and a lot of other people are talking about. There's been bright sparkles of lights. A lot of people are seeing that. I don't know if that has to do with level of consciousness that is raising, but were they my guides? And I'm seeing that Chris, you are not the first person to ask me this question in this short week that we are in already. Dee, would you mind pulling a card on the sparkles of the lights? And we kind of talked about it before the show started. We are all tapping into our intuitions and our guides and what have you. So let me see what you get on that.
Yeah, and I'm getting that for his brother. He's sending you symbols or signs or something. He's wanting to communicate something to you through a special thing that you and him had, okay, like sign, a symbol, a saying, something like that. So I don't know if you're getting that or not.
So was it his brother who passed today? Was it his birthday? Today was his birthday. I'm sorry. Well, so happy heavenly birthday to Chris's brother.
So hopefully he knows what I mean when I'm asking him about this. Has he seen these messages that his brother is trying to get to him? Okay.
Okay, so he's seeing the light. Now you're asking him, is he getting the actual message?
Yeah, because he asked about, is it his brother or is it his guides, right?
Right.
Okay, so the sparkles of light, he's asking, were they my guides or was it my brother who passed? Today was his birthday, okay? And I'm getting that to tell you that your brother who passed is trying to get messages to you, like you guys have like something that only you would know, and he's trying to like hint you that he's around, that he's there to help, he's there to talk if you need whatever. And so yes, the brother, I'm getting that the brother is trying to communicate with you. So and this card is about the sparkles and all of that, okay? So so for those who haven't like seen me on other lives of Janine's or whatever, I don't need the cards. I get stuff all the time. So the cards are just another way to get stuff, but I also hear things, see things and stuff like that. So I heard that about your brother. So yeah, so this card is about the sparkles and things like that. It's about balance, okay? About balance. It's justice, okay? So, but you see that she has the sword and then she has the scales, okay? So there has to be, so in the world, in the world of the sparkles and the spirit guides and stuff like that, there is a balance. So when we're not alone, okay? And when we see sparkles, unless we have some kind of, eye condition or something like that, or there are fireflies out at night, okay? If they're just sparkles like you've asked about, there are spirit guides around you all the time. So yes, the sparkles are spirit guides. Okay, they're your ancestors, those who came before you. They're always around you. Your spirit guides. Sometimes you'll catch them out of the corner of your eye, like a little flash. Okay, little sparkle, if you want to call it that. Okay, flash of light, little sparkle. They're around you. Your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your protector, the people in your family who have passed on. They're all. I call them the posse. Okay, they're all here. Okay, immediate family, okay, other people, okay, and so yes, that's what you're seeing, but also that thing about your brother. Okay, so anyway, if you want me to go more to detail about that, you can just email me at d@dfletcher.com and say, hey, I'm the person that asked about blah blah, and then okay.
Yeah. So if Chris is getting all these messages, if just reading, you can't see what Chris is actually putting in there, but I guess there's a lot of events that are going around her life right now. There's birthdays. What else is there? There's going to be a wedding. There will be a wedding coming up. So we could talk a little bit about that. So when there's a special event, they do come back to help witness that for us.
Yeah, because they want to celebrate too. Okay, they can hear you. They know things that are going on. You can get messages to them. All you have to do, you don't really even have to say their name. You can think of them and ask them a question, and then they will send you either dreams or symbols or a song on the radio or something like that to answer you back. So, and especially when something wonderful is happening, like a wedding, a childbirth, things like that, joyous occasion, family reunion or whatever, if your mind is quiet enough at times to get it, you'll see these sparkles, or you might see a vision of a person who's passed or whatever. They're around, they want to celebrate with you. Okay, so they're not gone, they're around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see there's a few personal questions out there. We won't be taking those. We're kind of doing the somewhat of a generalization, but you have to put it in a form of intention so that we truly are aligned with you. And I think we did. We're already at the hour and a half. Do you believe how time flew by with us here today, Dee? I appreciate you coming back and doing this special reading. You can find Dee. Where can you find Dee? Let me see if I have this banner here.
dfletcher.com.
Yes.
If anybody would like a reading, like you have questions, you want a reading or whatever, I also have gigs on Fiverr that are less expensive than what I normally charge for a private reading. So you could go to fiverr.com and just look up Dee Fletcher, and then it'll have all my gigs for, and they're less expensive than, like at my home private reading type. So
yeah.
And for those who wanted more info, I said to, email me if you want to get more into whatever I told you. Just email me at d@dfletcher.com and just say, hey, I asked the question about whatever, and then I could tell you more or whatever. So
yeah. So Chris, you know that you are getting a lot of the information. You're open. You're very spiritual, and that's why you're able to see and know and sense that they are there with you, your loved ones. So I'm going to move on from that one there, and let's see here. I do want to just give a comment out there to V Sanch, Sanch. We can't answer that question for you. It's very, very personal. If you want a reading, like she said, just go to dfletcher.com. We draw a line in the sand when you start asking about certain things as you have out here. And because they are very personal, and I'll just leave it at that. Let's see what else we have out here. I think that's everything out there. Buckshot. I think I scheduled something with Buck tomorrow. We'll be taking a collection for Buck's new car. And so yeah, let me just see here. 11 a.m. This will be Central Standard Time with Buck tomorrow morning. And so let's see. That's all that I have. Dee, what else do you have? What do you want to say in closing?
I think I've probably said enough, but I hope that everybody will take advantage of the new sun that was born today and just do things in the light way, you know, in the positive way, the way that you would like to see the world, and let all that stuff that's happened in the past and what you did in the past, don't carry that forward. Just turn over a new leaf, start over, however you want to put it, and things are going to get better. More things, more light is going to be shown upon the things that need to be highlighted.
And we'll be talking about some of those things tomorrow. I'm going to be going through and showing you quite a few things that are going on out there that you may or may not be seeing on social media, but there is so much out there. And I hope you guys are feeling a lot better about today. And, you know, we're all here to talk about it at the 7:33 p.m. time and Central Standard Time here. And, you know, I just think that when they talk about an eclipse, it's not just something that happens at that moment. It carries on for months. And so it's almost as if we're ramping up the energies and we're going to come much stronger to see what we have to see. It's not a lot of it is going to be beautiful. Not a lot of it's going to be pretty. A lot of people are going to feel the pain. But this is a spiritual war. It's just like I'm feeling the pain working through a lot of my own personal things right now at this time. But at least I'm acknowledging it. If once you acknowledge it and you release it and let it go and put it out into the universe, you're ready to open up the doors to something else more beautiful for you. And let's see here. That's all that I have, Dee.
All right. Thanks for having me. And I really enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was. And thank you. And come back real soon. And this was fun.
Okay.
This was something a little bit different. We always do something different with Dee. All right, everybody. Good night. And now we turn the page.